Now, time for The One Show with Alex Jones and tonight's guest presenter.
Whew, that was totally awesome.
Don't get me wrong, John, but when are you going to stop pretending to be American?
As soon as you stop pretending to ride this bike.
Fair enough. Hello and welcome to The One Show with tonight's guest presenter, a man of many talents. So let's hope that presenting The One Show is one of them.
Yeah, let's.
It's John Barrowman.
Hey! And also the lovely comedian, Alex Jones.
Comedian. How does it feel? Because this is the first time you've sat on this side, isn't it?
It is, and I'm excited to be here. It's a great show, and, you know, I love coming here. But the one thing, I'm not nervous, and that's worrying me.
No, there's no need to be.
I'm really... So if anything goes wrong, don't blame me.
There's only 27 minutes left.
Nothing can happen.
Now, our guest tonight has a real showbiz pedigree. She arrived just a few hours ago. Here are the fans all waiting to catch a glimpse of her.
Yes, and there the car's pulling up, and here she comes. There she is, yes, on the red carpet, unfazed by all of the attention.
So please welcome to The One Show the famous furball herself. It's Peggy!
Hey! Now, everybody, don't worry, because Peggy isn't here by herself. She actually came with her pet human.
That's right. We've let her off the lead. We've put the newspaper down. It's Miranda Hart!
Hey!
She is so cute.
She's very well behaved.
So she's like, applause for me.
Totally.
Stop it.
But what kind of breed is she?
She is a cross between a Shih Tzu. She's off.
She's bored already.
She's like, whatever, I've had my applause. A Shih Tzu and a Bichon Frise.
Oh, she's lovely.
And together they've created that little... Look at the state of it.
Tonight she's on our sofa. Is she allowed on the sofa at home? Is she a diva like that?
I'd love to say no, never on the sofa, never on the bed.
But always.
She's everywhere. And, yeah, she doesn't molt, you know. She's
Doesn't she?
hypoallergenic and she doesn't molt.
Really?
Well, we've got some dog
very clean.
biscuits
Oh,
because
have you?
well, we hear that you like a dog biscuit. Is that right?
Well, that's because what? Why are you offering?
Because you said that you sometimes.
I hope they're edible. I've just eaten one.
No, there was. I was given.
I'm eating a biscuit. They dog biscuits.
It's liver and bacon, and tripe and haddock.
They're
Some of
actually
them.
quite nice.
Right.
I mean,
I was given a dog biscuit that was made of honey and oats.
nice.
And it was quite big and shaped like a bone, so I looked quite mad eating it. But they were delicious. It was like porridge in a biscuit.
Nice.
Those I'm going nowhere near.
No, there's like something in it, like basil.
Basil?
Basil? Basil?
It's a dog biscuit.
Yes, my breath's
No.
going to be really good
Right,
later.
I'll give them to you so
Okay,
to see
I'll
whether
try
we can
it.
entice Peggy back to the
what's
sofa.
this?
Peggy,
What's this?
Here we are.
Oh, it's going to be crazy, I can tell. But we'll be talking to the great pretender herself, Chrissy Hind.
Yes, we will.
Yep. And the pretenders will also be treating us to a live performance at the end of the show. I'm looking forward to that.
Now, as we've got Captain Jack with us tonight, let's start with some sci-fi robots, to be precise.
Yes, my friend the Doctor has had his run-ins with robots, and this week Professor Stephen Hawking warned that one day they could become intelligent enough to take over the world.
Scary. To see where our obsession began, we powered up the John Sargent 3000, took a while, and sent him to meet Eric.
In the depths of the Science Museum in London, a metal menace is lurking. A collection of awe-inspiring automatons that can trace their very existence back to one heroic individual.
His name was Eric. In the 1920s, this legendary figure single-handedly revolutionized the field of robotics, leaving a legacy which is still with us today.
But Eric wasn't human. He was Britain's very first robot. Unveiled in 1928, he wowed the crowds as he stood, moved his limbs, and even gave a short speech, just like a real man. Eric became an overnight success, and a global tour began, showcasing this pioneering robot to the world. Ben Russell is lead curator at the museum, and he's invited me behind the scenes to find out more about this forgotten prodigy.
Eric was the first British robot, which is quite an amazing landmark, really. When you think about it, he was built in 1928, and actually until only a few years before, the word robot, as we understand now, just didn't exist. So he's a work of some technical endeavour.
What inspired the building of Eric?
Duke of York was invited to open a model engineering exhibition in London. Now, he found he couldn't go, and so they built a robot to replace him instead. And when you see the very short piece of film that survived, it looks definitely regal.
Eric was constructed by motor engineer Albert Reffel and journalist Captain William Richards. Deborah Richards is his great-granddaughter.
So these are pictures of Captain W.H. Richards.
Right, so this is your great-grandfather.
My great-grandfather. The robot and great-grandfather went to America. They did a tour in 1929 in New York. Eric was actually shot at by a night watchman.
Really?
Because he was terrified of him.
Well, now, what happened to Eric in the end?
It's a mystery. He vanished.
Right.
We just don't know.
Eric mysteriously disappeared, but after the Science Museum uncovered original design plans, a project has been underway to bring Eric back to life.
A new Eric, that's something, isn't it?
It's fantastic. And the whole family are really excited. We can't wait to see him.
Robotic artist Giles Walker has been tasked with rebuilding Eric from scratch, and after 5 months, the new Eric is nearing completion.
Hello, Giles.
Hi, John.
Well, Eric, isn't he wonderful?
Yeah.
Much bigger than I thought he would be.
About 6 foot.
And I suppose in the 1920s, to see him, that'd be startling, wouldn't it?
He had 35,000 volts sparking through his teeth.
So this one doesn't spark?
No, he's got these LEDs flashing as he speaks, which is not quite the same as 35,000 volts, but a lot safer.
Now, how much is it the same inside?
I've converted what was originally a load of pulleys and electromagnets, etc., into sort of digital systems.
So he's a very modern old robot.
In 1932, Eric was filmed for the last time before he vanished.
Eric, raise your right arm.
And now, 84 years later, the One Show has arranged for Deborah to meet the finished Eric for the very first time.
Good Lord. Great Uncle Eric, there you are. Fantastic.
Hello, Deborah. My name's Eric. It's lovely to meet another member of the Richards family again after all these years.
And great to meet you.
What do you think?
Really delighted. From a small girl, I ran with the idea when I saw the photographs that my grandfather showed me, and it was really his life's wish that he could re-find Eric. Words can't really express it. It's emotional. I'm very happy.
Who knows if the original Eric will ever be found, but it's great to see a new Eric come to life for this generation to enjoy.
And you can see Eric the robot on display free of charge at London's Science Museum until the 30th of November. It actually reminded me of like maybe an older type Cyberman.
Yeah, you said that in the meeting.
Yeah.
Did you know that a Cyberman once fainted in our studio?
Because it's so hot. I'm roasting. Are you warm?
Will it be your expensive jacket, John?
Yeah, stop with my jacket now. We don't have to go into that. Now listen, are you good with technology, Miranda?
I appreciate technology. I'm not great at it. I feel about 95 in technology years.
And you had a bit of a problem with your laptop. What happened when you were doing the book? Something?
Yes, I first wrote my book 3 years ago, and it wasn't really, well, it was sort of my fault technology-wise, but I got burgled. Oh. I know, it was awful. I got home one night and I was about, literally that day, and I thought, no, I'll read it again tomorrow. I was about to send, oh, all right, Peggy. I was about to press send to my agent, the whole book, and then I got home that night and it'd been stolen, including
So you literally finished it that morning?
Literally finished the whole thing.
And it happened that night?
Yeah.
How do you motivate yourself then to go and start writing the whole thing again? Because that's just heartbreaking,
honestly,
isn't
I
it?
cried.
I cannot imagine, because, you know, my sister and I write. I felt ill when I read, that.
It was horrible. I cried for 2 days. And I felt shame because technology-wise I hadn't backed up, which I believe is the expression. I thought that was just a bit of constipation. I didn't know what So I hadn't backed up and felt a bit idiotic for that, and then cried for a long time. And then writers were sending me messages and going, "We totally understand." I didn't feel stupid. You know, other people have lost books, and it's hideous. And then I realised they'd stolen my time.
Yes.
You know, I thought of all those times on holidays when I could have been with friends and...
Yeah, but maybe it wasn't the right time for the book. Maybe now is the time, you say.
Maybe now is the time.
And you do credit Peggy with a lot of your success, because she's been a real companion, hasn't she, over the last couple of...
I mean, it's basically me, but... but it's true. I do say in the book how she she really kept me company during the... I found the writing of my sitcom much harder than I ever thought it
Lonely?
would.
Or-
Very lonely.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer that can go sit in cafes. I need to... And I act it out as well as a writer-performer, and that's not great.
Oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in your house. Yeah. That would be awesome.
So, yeah, I sort of play Miranda and Stevie and then play the mum and
Brilliant.
kind of act it out. So it doesn't work for kind of communal writing.
That-
Having her, she just sort of brought that community and connection and... Yeah, really
So where
fell in
did
love
you
with it.
guys meet?
We met on the set of Not Going Out, Lee Mack's fantastic sitcom, when I was acting in it.
Right.
And the costume lady had puppies. Well, her dog had puppies, just to be clear. Just to be clear. Just in case that woman never works in television again. So she had a litter of puppies, her dog. And Peggy was one of them, but she was bagged at the time by
What do you mean
somebody
she was
else.
bagged?
Well, she was somebody else had
Taken.
her.
No, not bagged. Not bagged.
People will be having nightmares. Oh, look at the state
I
of it. Just
see.
seen a monitor. Oh, she's so beautiful. Much like her own. And, yeah, so I just spent lots of time in the costume department with these puppies. They were just... Can you imagine the state of puppies?
Oh, I can, and I've seen some puppies like this, and they are gorgeous.
Just gorgeous.
But that doesn't where... It isn't where Peggy's showbiz connections end, does it?
She does have showbiz heritage.
Well, she does.
She does, that's right. So in a section we're calling Whose Dog Do You Think You Are?
Nice.
We're going to take a look at Peggy's family tree.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So Peggy apparently had a grandfather with proper showbiz credentials. Is that right?
Yes,
Can you
that's right.
confirm or deny?
Would you like me to name?
Yes,
who?
please.
Yes. Michael Barrymore.
Well, see, you say that.
What?
You say
I've
that.
said it in my book.
Well,
Might not be right.
Really?
Yeah.
our research team discovered that it was in fact Peggy's grandmother
Grandmother.
that belonged to Michael, who was called Sprite. She was a Bees and Freeze as well.
OK, Sprite.
Yeah.
Right, it's still Michael's.
Still
Oh, yeah,
related.
still Michael's
Fine.
dog.
Yes.
But I said grandfather, OK.
Yeah.
Right, I'll have to amend that for the paper.
All right, so then Sprite then
Just ruined my book.
I know. You made her a liar. Sprite
It's a
then
little
had
thing.
a litter from which Doris, Peggy's mum, was born.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Doris then had a fling with a Shih Tzu called Jojo.
Yes.
What kind of dog was that again?
A Shih Tzu.
Bless you.
Do you know,
Thank you.
Do you know who Jojo belonged to?
Well, this is it. Go on, tell us.
Jojo belonged to, I hope this is right.
It is.
Samantha Janice / Womack.
Yes. You see.
Correct.
I don't think that's her full name now. I think she's chosen one of them.
Womack.
But I've briefly forgotten which.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here is a picture of the happy couple Doris and Joe, Peggy's mum and dad.
Oh,
Beautiful.
no.
Look at that. Isn't that gorge?
And between them, they created
They
this.
did. Well, they created Peggy and all of her little siblings. Look. Can you remember the names? Here we go. Elvis, Boris, Gladys, Mavis.
And Peggy was Eunice.
Peggy was Eunice, but
I
then she
quickly
became
changed
Peggy.
that. Eunice, fine on a sort of 80-year-old piano teacher, not on this.
Correct.
No. No.
Oh, look at that face.
Look at, oh God, stop it, John.
Now, you spoke earlier about the lady, the costume lady, who
Yes.
might never work in telly again because she'd had puppies, but not really.
Not really.
But this is the thing, you see. She
Yeah.
does work in television because she works here at the One Show. You couldn't make it up, could you?
No.
Here she is in our green room with Penny's dad, Joe, and her sisters, Mavis and Gladys.
Hello, Miss Peggy. This is your family here. This is Gladys, who's now called Rosie. This is Mavis, your sister. So you've got your two sisters. And this is your daddy here, your old daddy Jojo. And they miss you very much, and they're going to come and see you later. Aren't you, chaps? Yeah?
Well,
Love it.
I feel really emotional about that. Peggy, how are you feeling? She's like, I don't care. Oh.
She's on brand. She's straight to the book.
Good for her.
She's like, I want my own sofa. Look, she's got her own area.
She's lovely. Well, Miranda's book, Peggy and Me, is out now.
All right, we've been having some fun here in the studio, but it has been an emotional day at Westminster as MPs debated how to pardon thousands of gay men with historic criminal convictions.
A bill named after the Second World War codebreaker Alan Turing failed to pass, but the government will put forward its own version. Hear the words of the poet and activist Dean Atta.
Alan Turing's pardon comes 60 years too late. Our country showed him no love then, just hate.
By branding him a criminal, they sealed his fate. So I beg your pardon if I choose not to celebrate.
Alan Turing was a hero. I wrote my poem, I Beg Your Pardon, because it's not enough that just one person is kind of symbolically pardoned.
Can we pardon 50,000 other men convicted?
For not hiding whom they choose to have sex with.
Or being reported for what they did consensually.
Can we get some justice for them, eventually?
Well, every time they use the word pardon, that word grates with me. Pardon only goes with a crime. There was no crime. The crime, they say, was because we loved other men, and that was not acceptable.
Because Turing was a genius, and Turing was a hero. But if I'm neither one, that does not make me a zero.
Because Tom Daley coming out made the news.
I met someone, and, well, that someone is a guy.
And yet so many people said that's not news.
But so many wouldn't do the same in his shoes.
Now that YouTube video has 10 million views.
But many men and women had to fight.
For his freedom to love is now his right.
Alan Turing did not have that, and nor did 50,000 others.
Who lost a war with the law for being lovers.
My great-uncle would have been absolutely delighted if he had been here today. He was a very honest and kind man. He would have wanted fairness for everybody.
We must pardon those 50,000 mothers' sons, because it's not really justice if it's just for one.
Really touching, and thank you to everyone who took part. It means a lot to people out there in the nation, and I am one of them.
Well, look who's turned up. It's Chrissie Hynde, everybody. Chrissie, meet Miranda and Peggy. Peggy and Miranda, Chrissie Hynde. Now, this is quite strange that you're both here on the same night. Because, Miranda, is it right that back in the day, people used to say you look a bit like Chrissie Hynde, which gave you a lot of confidence?
Yes, I'm sorry to put that on you.
do we still look
Actually, you guys, your smile, you've got such great big smiles, both of you. That's one thing.
Yeah, I was at university, I was very down on my looks, and, well, that sounds wrong, because if we look like each other... But what I mean is, someone then said, you look a bit like Chrissie Hynde, and I was like, because I slightly adore you. And so, thank you, because I then...
Did you hide behind your hair, then?
And loved my face, and do a bit of
there
that.
you go.
That's the rock. That's the rock look.
Yeah.
Now listen, you started out doing a solo album.
The give-up look, actually.
No, never. You started with the solo album. When did you know, when you were making this, that you were going to turn it in, or you realized it's a Pretenders
Oh, this
album?
Well, you know, it's really just in the name. I mean, pretty much if I'm doing it, it's been a long history with the Pretenders, and some lineup changes along the way, but...
But is it a certain sound that
triggers
it?
I guess, yeah. I think the last Stockholm album was a little more poppy sounding. I don't know. Neil Young played on it. It was pretty rock. It's all in a name.
And the album is called Alone, and you say it's all in a name because it's not about loneliness. It's about celebrating the fact that actually you're really happy and you're doing stuff on your own and being on your own.
Well, steady on. I mean, there's an element of loneliness, but it's the title track is about being all right with being on your own. I mean, it's not the best, but it's better than sometimes not being on your own. I think that's what it's...
So do you enjoy touring?
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to do it for too long, and then it starts to go the wrong way, but...
Now, go on.
No, I was going to say, Roadie Man is one of the songs on the album.
That's another one that's a sort of lesser celebrated theme, I think.
But you had a little bit of pressure from somebody to put that on the album, is that... Elvis Costello?
Well, I think I sang it to Elvis quite a few years ago.
Got it.
And he always...
And he loved it.
Yeah, he said I should do it, so yeah, I must get in touch with him and tell him I've done it.
And some very, exciting news that we were particularly excited about is that you're going to be working with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, and when is that going to happen?
Well, I met Stevie over the years, and, you know, it's just, we were both going out at the same time on the road, and it just coincided that, you know, she's doing arenas, not my first choice. I like theaters and clubs.
Yeah.
And, you know, but we're not that big. I mean, even if I could go into this is not my cup of tea. I like small stuff.
Intimate stuff.
But, yeah. I wanted to get the band out, and she's going. I think it's a good fit.
Do you still have kind of a wish list of people that you might want to record with or to work with?
I'd love to do something with Kate Bush.
That would be awesome.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
that would be.
Yeah.
That would be wicked.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Wicked.
Do you want to? What? I just could get some singing lessons. I don't know. We look alike.
We sound alike.
Miranda, can you sing?
That's funny, and we both have a dog.
Right.
No, I don't have a dog.
Oh, okay. Get off me.
Well, the Pretenders' new album, Alone, is out today, and Chrissy and the band will be performing the new single, Holy Commotion, at the end of the show.
Want to come out and sing with us?
Now,
yes.
Well, I'll come out and sing. We're all
For some
going to
reason,
do.
I thought you were looking for a dog.
Sticking with the musical theme, here's award-winning cellist Sheku paying tribute to his very supportive parents.
They've not only nurtured his talent, but also produced a whole family orchestra. It's a lovely film, this one.
Like all parents, we thought our children were talented, and we knew music was going to be a big part of their lives.
Yeah, we just didn't realise how big a part it would be.
I'm Sheku Kane-Mason. I won BBC Young Musician 2016, and I couldn't have done it without my family, especially my mum and dad.
As a toddler, Sheku was very cheeky. He wasn't big on rules. He was always, if you heard a noise in the house, you knew it was Sheku. He was a real live wire. He started the piano at 5, started the cello at 6, and went on from there.
From the minute I picked up the cello, I just loved the sound and really wanted to play it all the time. And I think because I loved it so much, I got to grade 8 when I was about 9, I think. All of my brothers and sisters play music. So there's Isata, who is 20 years old, Brima, who's 18, Konya, who's 16, Jennifer, who's 13, Aminata, who's 10 years old, and the youngest, Mariatu, who is 7 years old. So there's 7 of us in total.
We didn't set out to have an orchestra, it just sort of came about really as one by one they all started learning instruments and playing together.
I started playing this cello this week, and this is the one that Sheku used to play, and I think I might be better than him.
From a very young age, I've always been encouraged by my parents, but up until now I've never really properly thought about the impact that's had on their lives.
We make sacrifices. There are things that we could repair in the house and wallpaper peeling off an old car, but we're happy to put those to the side because of all the benefits they get from playing and the enjoyment they get.
Looking after all of our instruments costs a fortune. And during the string finals of BBC Young Musician, I snapped a string. Luckily, it didn't throw me, and I just came back on, but I reckon my dad in the audience was probably thinking, that's £80 down the drain. Unfortunately, yeah. Every Saturday morning, my parents get us all up at 5 and take us to the Royal Academy of Music in London.
It is very difficult keeping track of everything that the children do. Sheku has type 1 diabetes, which is an extra worry for me because he has to monitor his blood sugar levels, especially before he performs. I have to always check to make sure he's eaten enough. Like most 17-year-olds, Sheku is very forgetful, he's very messy. He turns up at a major concert in London without a bow. It is a constant turmoil with Sheku. We're very lucky because the children all go to Trinity School, which is a local comprehensive school and is wonderful with music.
At my school, from years 7 to 9, all of the pupils, as part of the curriculum, learn the violin and the recorder. And because of that, all of my friends understand why I have to practice, and I've never been bullied or teased for doing what I do. People might think that my parents have been pushy and forced me to do it from a young age, but I think it's definitely been something I've always wanted to do, and they've encouraged me, but it's always come from me, and I think that's really important.
Well, here is Sheku Kane-Mason, 17 years old, cellist from Nottingham.
I was absolutely terrified through the whole thing. I just wanted it to be over.
It's under control, man.
The winner of the BBC Young Musician 2016 is Sheku Kane-Mason.
When I was announced the winner, I was amazed and very happy. Also, being the first black winner was something very important to me, because I've always wanted to inspire young black people to take up music, especially being given the opportunity myself.
We're both really proud of Sheku. I mean, I think I'm proud that he's won, but I think even more proud the way he's handled it. He hasn't changed.
I think I'll always be very grateful for all of the support that my parents have given to me in my music. And I think because of that, I think that always inspires me to always work hard and give my all in every performance that I give. My younger sisters have always wanted to do well in the young musician competition, so I'll leave that to them. And maybe they can start by practicing for the one show.
Well and truly in the shade. What a brilliant family.
It's amazing, and bringing a real touch of class to the one show theme. Thank you to Sheku and all his brothers and sisters. Wouldn't it be great if all the sisters won the Young Musician of the Year
That would be
award?
fantastic. I think there's a good chance that they will as well.
Well, good luck.
That is almost all for tonight. A very big thank you to Peggy and to Miranda. And, of course, to you, John. Did you enjoy?
I had a great time, and I'd love to come back.
Well, you are welcome. I will be back with Matt on Monday at 7-ish.
And now playing us out with their single, Holy Commotion, from their new album, Alone, it is the fantastic, amazing Pretenders!
Massive devotion. The walls come tumbling down, and the love shines all around, and the dogs of war come around. No more rape or torture or mutilation. One love.